Rob Reedy, I'm from Middletown, Ohio. Played high school ball with the great Hall of Fame Chris Carter. And then from there I went to the Miami University. 4-year letterman, 3-year starter there, and I got all league. Being in education is deep, deep in my veins. So I try to follow in my dad and mom's footsteps and try to make them proud. It's led me to a lot of great situations working with kids. I've been assistant principal since 2000. So this is my 33rd year in education right now. Butler Metropolitan Alternative School. And I got in there and I was like, man, what did I get myself into? And I'm gonna tell you what, Butler probably taught me more about myself than me teaching kids anything. When I see a Darius Geese come through the door, I was like, who the heck is this tall drink of water? The one thing I picked up about a Darius, he never had an issue with constructive criticism. When he came in, he was short some credits because I don't know what these other schools were thinking, but how would you let this young man kind of get away from you? Yeah, we make mistakes and we do things, but that doesn't mean we kick people to the curb. Once I got to know a Darius and I got to hear his story, I started reaching out to some of my connections. I got a hold of the old coach at Western, and I said, you got to take a look at this kid. I hit at Butler at a great time. There were some people there working that really had a lot of influence in Louisville. Joe Lampkin, who was my school resource officer, he ran all the security for U of L sports, football, everything. He handled it all. Introduced him to Darius, and so his first thing was like, as soon as you see a Darius, and you know he's blessed with this incredible height, you know, people are jumping on board, you know, getting you special tickets, getting you to the ball games, getting you introduced to people. To see the young man just flourish. I mean, you just give this kid the right setting and he just took off. And then the next thing you know, I'm getting these little paper clips, you know, from the Journal about some of Darius's, you know, accomplishments at Western. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Not many kids are going to follow through with what they say, and Darius just absorbs it. One of my biggest days is when all of a sudden, out of the blue, a Darius shows up in my school. And he had told me that he kind of fell on some hard times. He wanted me to know that whatever comments or whatever things I told him, it stuck with him. And he decided, you know what? I'm gonna take my last run at Campbellsville. And when he came in and showed me he had graduated, got his diploma from Campbellsville, that's the biggest thank you as an educator you can have. So when the Darius showed up and showed me, and after he told me some of the hard times he went through, and yet he didn't let it stop him. He didn't give up. He didn't go back to the old nonsense. He got himself a Butler there. He did something about it. Sometimes you lick your wounds and you move on. I love to see him getting in basketball. That's where he's meant to be, is working with young people and aspiring, because when you have a coach and a person that has no quit, that's a great person or role model for our kids, because his story matches a lot of people else's story that's out there. And Darius is more important than I think he'll ever know, just because he's relatable. I've heard the stories, and I've also seen the successes, and I've also seen the failures of our young people.
Can you imagine if I'm not taking these opportunities? Can you imagine when these people coming to me and trying to help me, if I would have turned my shoulder, or if I would have used my ego? I'm not living none of this.
Darius has that it where, you know what, I'm gonna go fix this, because if I don't, I know what's waiting for me on this side over here. He's been on that side over there. He's tasted that side. So it's important that when you have an Darius Pegues that comes through the door, that you do the best you can to promote that young man, get that guy out there talking to our young people. Darius's story, where it gets special, is the rebound effect. I look at how far a Darius has revolved, just watching his career over the years, going in the world, you know, out there playing overseas, and talking about some of the scariest moments about being on a train going across a rush or something. I can't remember where it was, but he told me a story about going across training. Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know where I'm going, Mr. Reedy. And being able to just, you know what? I'm gonna go do that. I'm sorry, but that takes balls. Excuse my French, but that, just to sit there and say, I'm gonna leave everything and go. Darius Pegues is more important than we probably ever realized. Rob Reedy, assistant principal, Butler High School, and I endorse Darius, the AD dog, the man, the myth, Darius.